Today's ICD-10 quick coding tip focuses on what you need to know about how to correctly code sepsis. My name is Claire and I'm an inpatient coding auditor. In my coding tips and tricks videos, you'll discover valuable insights to help sharpen your medical coding skills and code with confidence. If that sounds like something that would be helpful to you, please consider hitting that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I release new content. Sepsis is the body's extreme response to an infection. It occurs when an infection that you already have in your skin, lungs, urinary tract, or somewhere else triggers a chain reaction throughout your body. Anyone can get an infection, and almost any infection can lead to sepsis, including bacterial, viral, or fungal infections. For a diagnosis of sepsis, you first code the systemic infection code, followed by a code for the underlying local infection that led to the sepsis. If the organism that caused the underlying infection is specified, you code the sepsis to that organism. So for example, if the diagnosis is sepsis due to E. coli urinary tract infection, you first assign the code for the systemic infection, which in this case is A4151, sepsis due to E. coli, followed by the code for the localized infection, which in this case is N390 urinary tract infection. If the type of infection or organism that caused the sepsis is not specified, you would just assign code A419, sepsis unspecified organism. A code from subcategory R652, severe sepsis, should be assigned as an additional code with sepsis if and only if severe sepsis is specifically documented in the medical record, or when the physician has documented a link between an organ dysfunction and sepsis. The physician must link the organ dysfunction to the sepsis using linking words, such as encephalopathy due to sepsis, or sepsis with acute kidney failure, or acute respiratory failure secondary to sepsis. Some examples of organ dysfunction are listed under subcategory R652 and include acute kidney failure, acute respiratory failure, critical illness myopathy, critical illness polyneuropathy, disseminated intravascular coagulation, otherwise known as DIC, encephalopathy, either septic or metabolic, and hepatic failure. This is not an exhaustive list, so if the documentation is unclear regarding whether a specific condition is considered to be organ dysfunction, the physician should be queried for clarification. If the physician has clearly linked the organ dysfunction to the sepsis, then you first assign the code for the sepsis, followed by R652 severe sepsis. The code for severe sepsis can never be assigned as a principal diagnosis and should always be sequenced as a secondary code. Additional codes for the associated acute organ dysfunction are also required. So for example, for a diagnosis of acute respiratory failure secondary to sepsis, you first code A419 for the sepsis, followed by R652 for the severe sepsis, followed by J9600 for the acute respiratory failure. And for a diagnosis of sepsis with acute kidney failure, you first code A419 for the sepsis, followed by R652 for the severe sepsis, followed by N179 for the acute kidney failure. A code from subcategory R652 severe sepsis should also be assigned when septic shock is documented in the medical record. Septic shock is circulatory failure associated with severe sepsis, and it is a type of acute organ dysfunction. For cases of septic shock, the code for the systemic infection should be sequenced first, followed by code R6521, severe sepsis with septic shock. The code for the septic shock can never be assigned as a principal diagnosis and should always be sequenced as a secondary code. When the patient has both sepsis and an acute organ dysfunction, but the medical record documentation indicates that the acute organ dysfunction is related to a medical condition other than the sepsis or doesn't say at all, do not assign a code from subcategory R652 severe sepsis. So for example, if the patient is diagnosed with both sepsis and acute respiratory failure, we do not assign a code for severe sepsis because the physician did not specifically say that the respiratory failure was due to the sepsis. Or if the patient is diagnosed with sepsis and acute kidney failure documented to be due to dehydration, we do not assign a code for severe sepsis because the physician said the acute kidney failure had a different cause other than the sepsis. If the documentation is not clear whether or not an acute organ dysfunction is related to the sepsis or another medical condition, the physician should be queried for clarification. So that's it for today's quick tip. I really hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please consider giving it a thumbs up or comment below. It would really mean a lot to me to know that this video has helped you to better understand medical coding. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy coding!